बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, धर्मं शरणं गच्छामि, संघं शरणं gacchami. I shall take refuge at the lotus feet of the Lord Buddha. I shall try to follow his teachings, and also I shall take shelter at the Sangha. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, after almost like 6 weeks, we are meeting again with our weekly lecture. Of course, I had a wonderful time in my USA visit. It was a great experience. There's a lot of love, poured upon me by our monks and the devotees of the centers. It was a good experience. Today, as the part of Buddha's Jayanti, few days before which we had, I thought I will be discussing about the teachings of Lord Buddha. When I was thinking, what shall we discuss about the teachings of the Buddha, then I thought, he accepts, he recognizes, and he accepts that there is a suffering. Not only that, there is a suffering, and since there is a suffering, there should be a cause also. So if there is a cause, there should be an effect also. What is the effect? That is the path which we speak. So these are nothing but the Arya Sattani or Four Noble Truths. The suffering exists, there is a cause for suffering, and there is a way to end the suffering. And what is the way? Ashtanga Marga. And if you see, interestingly, the Buddha's teachers, mainly they were Sankyans. Now, the Sankhya philosophy is the ancient philosophy in the world. It is even, older than the Vedanta, accordingly. And the Patanjali Yoga system has been emerged from the Sankhyan philosophy. And Buddhist teachers or Buddha's teachers were Sankhyans. As a result, many of his teachings, or quite a good amount of teachings, are also in line with Sankhya and also the yoga. And at the broad canvas, if you think, we are always trying either to end the suffering, to remove the suffering, or to be happy at all times. Either having something or not having something, I am trying to eliminate the suffering and I am trying to enjoy, or I am trying to have happiness or blissful. And the classical philosophy also has taken this stand because the humankind wants this. So some of the philosophies have explained why there is a suffering and how to end the suffering or how to eliminate the suffering. And some other philosophies have said, how can I be happy at all given point of times? Again, in the quotes, without changing the world and the people and the things in and around me. So the Sankhya philosophy, the yoga philosophy, Buddhistic philosophy, even to larger extent Jaina philosophy, all these ancient philosophies, they always insist, they give prominence on how to end the suffering, how to eliminate the suffering. And if you see from Indian philosophical point of view, the Purva Mimamsa, which speaks how to attain the heaven, and also the Uttara Mimamsa, that is the Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy, and other shades of philosophy, other schools of philosophy, that is Advaita Vedanta or Dvaita Vedanta or Vishishta Advaita. All of them, they speak, how can I be happy at all given point of time? Because my real nature is what? Happiness. So all philosophies either they are telling how to eliminate the suffering or how can you be happy at all given point of time. This is what they are trying to tell. Now Buddha's philosophy, as I told, it has been influenced by the Sankhyan philosophy, the ancient philosophy. So he also has taken the path or the approach that how to end the suffering. Now, what is suffering actually? Does really suffering exist or not? Some say, oh no, it is a mere imagination or it is a reaction, so it is not there at all. How much ever we may give a lecture on this, oh, it is all mental phenomena. It is true, no doubt, but it doesn't exist in reality. It is very difficult to accept. Why? Because we are upset, because we are experiencing it. And they really say, no, it exists, and etc. I mean, the other extreme positions people might take again. So neither we can say no, it doesn't exist in reality or whatever. No, it exists too much, giving too much over importance. Both are not right. Here, the Buddha's path is a middle path, Madhyama Marga. He clearly tells that, yes, my dear, there is a suffering. Understand it, recognize it, and let us try to solve. So, the first step of the progress is recognizing the problem. I have got a short temper. That is my lacuna. That is my shortcoming. Understand and recognize it. That is the first step of my progress. So, similarly, Buddha says that yes, there is a suffering. Suffering exists. Understand and recognize it. Then we can think how to eradicate it, how to eliminate it. Now, if you see the regarding the suffering, it exists no doubt, and mostly it is our reaction. The thing itself doesn't contain a suffering, but larger part is what our reaction. Of course, for an example, when I get a disease, when I get a high fever, or I got a wound, I met with an accident, then definitely because of there is a physical suffering. No one can eliminate, I mean, no one can deny it. But the intensity, the amount of suffering what we do, what we undergo is differing, it differs from person to person. I have got a headache. Oh, I've got a headache, I've got a headache. I keep on lamenting and I keep on complaining, and I really suffer. There, some people say, oh, because there is a head, so there's a headache. That's okay. It will go away. So just bear and keep doing his or her activities. There can be physical suffering, same physical suffering like the with a former person, but here the intensity of suffering has been lessened or reduced. And some have transcended this body consciousness. For them, it comes and goes. They don't really bother. So all our philosophies are asking us to reduce this suffering, reduce the intensity of the suffering. So that's where when we say that everything is in mind, everything is based on our reactions, this is what we mean. So the intensity of suffering can be reduced by understanding the nature, by understanding the truth, by understanding the fact. Okay. Now, how did he understand, or why did he understand? It is a very interesting thing. So, most of us we know the story of the Lord Buddha or the life of Buddha. So Buddha was, is born in a princely family. So he was the son of a king called Shuddhodana. We all know that he was in palace. He had a lavish life, and he had a great riches. And his father was told by a monk that either he will become a king or a great king, emperor, or he will become a great ascetic. So his father, he tried to see that his son will not see any problems in the life. So all the best people, healthy people, youngsters more or less, if not, or middle-aged people were there as the attendants. That's what the story was. And he had married and he had a son also. So probably he was 20 plus, nearing 30 or 25, 30 between. Then he was Once he asked his father that he will go and see the city, and his father thought now he's been settled and all, now things are okay. And he was allowed to go. And he saw three people. One is sick person, old person or aged person, and dead body, died person. So when these three instances or incidents he saw, he was shocked. He was shocked. And he asked his charioteer who was driving the horse carriage, will I and you, everyone do undergo this problem or these challenges? The charioteer, he was sincere and truthful enough. He said, yes, my dear Lord, all of us, we get sometimes sick, we get sometime old age, we get old age and we also die. It is very strange. How didn't he know all these things? But at least the story goes. Anyhow, but the thing is that he didn't become pessimistic. The moment when we experience the problems, the times when we are experiencing the sufferings or challenges or whatever, we become pessimistic. We become very negative in our outlook, in our mindset. But Buddha, this is the greatness and the uniqueness of Buddha. He didn't become pessimistic or he didn't become negative. Neither he went and scolded his father that you didn't show me the truth, fact. Rather, he didn't scold the God or the fate. He started thinking, what is the rationale behind this? Why is it happening? And he understood that, which is a common sense. Most of us, we know that this is the way the life happens. So he recognized that there is a sorrow, there is a problem, there will be sorrow in our lives. He understood and he recognized it. And not only that, he universalized universality of sorrow. I have got a pain, no doubt. I am experiencing it, I am suffering, and I'm trying to get over all these things, fine, which we all try to do. But in his case, when he saw that, he started thinking whether this is the same problem with anyone and everyone, with every human being or with every being. Then, when he got the answer, yes, then he thought, okay, that means everyone is suffering in the life. Again, he didn't become pessimistic. Rather, he started to find the truth and the path from which we can get out from that. Okay, if there is a sorrow, if there is a sorrow, okay, how to eradicate it, how to eliminate it, how to overcome it. So, this is the greatness of Lord Buddha. That he, by seeing that, he didn't was not a shock or he didn't become negative or pessimistic. Rather, he started understanding it and he started feeling for the every being, not only for him. Oh, I am going to die, I am going to become deceased, I am going to be old. He didn't think of it. Rather, he said, if this is the common problem, universal problem, then what is the way out? This is what his thinking started. And okay, then he understood ignorance or the tanha, the attachment is the root of suffering. And for that, he said, following the Ashtanga Marga is the, what do you say, path. Now, he says that based on the Buddha's teachings, there are three teachings, three types of sufferings, he says. One is physical suffering, or suffering of suffering, we say. That is the physical suffering. Now, that is age old problems are the physical problems basically, and also mental problems, stress, strain, headache, emotional problems, and physical problems like knee pain or a back pain or the headache. All these things are like physical suffering. So, by exercise and following a good diet, these things can be taken care. And by doing yoga, by doing walking, jogging, and having a balanced diet, to larger extent we can take care, but not completely. Now, the second is suffering of change. He says, means we experience in the world, and the world is mixture of our dualities, good and bad, right and wrong, happiness and unhappiness, all these things keep coming and going. Whereas when the favorable circumstances are there, when there is a happiest moment or a blissful moment, we are happy. The moment when we lose that, when we get deprived of it, immediately we suffer. So this is what suffering of change. Because just like we are having a sunny days, we are having a beautiful weather, we are all very happy. But this will be there for a long time? No, we all know that. Till maybe August or September, afterwards again, the sunny days reduces, the sunlight, the daylight reduces, then the cold, windy, wetty, at least in Ireland, it increases. Then again, our happiness might go. So, suffering of change. Because things are changing, because of that, we suffer. And the and based on the one more is pervasive suffering. He says that. What is that pervasive suffering? Because the whole our body and mind is the aggregate of five objects or five entities. Because of that, we are suffering. Anyhow, and based on these philosophical things, he analyzes or his followers analyzes the Buddhist teachings, and there are eight types of suffering. What are the one is suffering because of the birth. Because I've taken born, that's why the all problem starts. If not, then there is no problem at all. Because I took birth, that's why the problem starts, suffering of birth. Even while coming out from the mother's womb, also we might struggle, we might suffer. And suffering of old age. When we got old age, our body, doesn't, cooperate like unlike during our young age or middle age, and we have got a lot of age-old ailments and all. Then suffering from disease, physical, mental, emotional, all these type of diseases. And the fourth is suffering of death, which is the greatest problem. We all fear for death. I may be millionaire, or I may be very like a technocrat or a celebrity. I know anything and everything, but still I am fearful of death. Then this is the four things. Then the fifth one is contact with unpleasant things. I don't like him or her, but I have to work with him or her. I don't like him, but I have to stay with him. So unpleasant people, unpleasant situations, unpleasant things are there, and have to bear with them or with it. Have to stay with them, have to stay with it. I'm suffering because of the existence of things or people. Okay. Then suffering of severance of contact. Oh, he was a good friend, but I lost him for some reason. Or he shifted to some other country, he moved to a different place. Good people, good things, because I lost them, that's why I'm suffering. And this is the standard problem. My desires are not fulfilled. That's why I'm suffering. Then I'm also suffering because clinging to my body and mind. I have a body, but I am behaving that I am the body. I have a mind as an instrument, but unfortunately, I am behaving as if I am the mind. Now, how to make a difference? For example, I feel that I am down. Why you are down? Because I've got a fever. When you got a fever, your body can be down. The energy of the body has come down. Yes, we can understand. Your body is suffering, no doubt. But because of the attachment with the body, I think that I am down. Actually, my body is down. I am not down. Similarly, my emotions are has become disturbed. My emotions are disturbed. My emotions are disturbed, but I behave that as if I am disturbed. These are all clinging to things. So basically, attaching to the body and mind. And the other is clinging to things actually. For example, I've got a mobile, wonderful mobile I purchased and I was so happy. But tomorrow, after some days, there was some problem in the mobile and I am suffering. Oh, I will put a status that I am not feeling okay or I am in a morose. Why? Because my mobile is not working or there is no internet connection, etc. Why? Because I'm clinging to objects and because of that, I am suffering. Anyhow, so different type of sufferings has been discussed by the Buddha or his disciples. Okay, now it is all well and good. We have understood now. Now, what is the root cause for this suffering? And if you see, the Advaita Vedanta beautifully tells that is the ignorance of one's own nature. Who am I? I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the emotions, I am the indestructible self. But I am thinking of body and mind complex. As a result, that's why I'm suffering. The ignorance of my true nature is the root cause of suffering, the Vedanta says. Now, interestingly, interestingly, the Buddha also says there is a suffering, suffering exists, and there is a cause of suffering. And what is the cause of suffering? If you ask, he also tells interestingly ignorance or tanha, that is the craving for sensual desires or sense objects is what the thirst, basically thirst for the sensual objects or the for the pleasure and the pleasure and the hatred. This is what makes us suffering. Now, all these things he has given in a beautiful, very scientific and rational and psychological thing is called, which is called pratitya samutpada. That is what dependent origination. That is what 12 links he gives. So he says that ignorance. And what is this ignorance basically? The ignorance of the reality. So pratitya samutpada, dependent origination. So it is the link or the chain of cause and effect. So there is a cause, so there is an effect. If there is no cause, there will be no effect. So break the chain, then you can be happy. Okay. So the 12 chain is going like this. One is first is ignorance. What is the ignorance? Ignorance of true nature of reality. The second is formations, samskara or impressions. Then the third is consciousness, which is called vijnana. The fourth is name and form, namarupa. The fifth is six senses, shadaitana. The sixth is contact, sparsha. Seven, feeling or vedana. Eight, craving or trishna. Nine, clinging, upadana. 10, becoming, bhava. 11th, birth, jati. 12, aging and death, jara and marana. So Majja Nikaya, there's one sutra, from that this has been taken. Now, when you say avidya, what does it mean? It is not the avidya what we discuss in the Advaita Vedanta. Oh, the ignorance of my real nature about the self. The ignorance of my true nature is what the root cause of suffering. Now, here, for Buddhism, or according to the Buddha, what is avidya or ignorance? He says that not knowing the limits of the past, not knowing the limits of the future, and not knowing the actions and their maturations, and not knowing the misery and genesis, not knowing the cause, virtue and not virtue, and not knowing the transgression and non-transgression, and not knowing what to be cultivated, not to be cultivated. That is what avidya says. So basically, avidya is what? Ignorance of the limitations of the future and the present and the past and what to do and what not to do about all these things. So basically, it is an ignorance. It's a misapprehension, basically. Okay. Now, because of that, what happens? Because of the ignorance, impressions are created in our mind. Samskaras, we all know that. And in that formative samskaras are there. Samskaras are working as a catalyst force for the further actions, because they are like impulses, impressions, which propel us to do the actions. And because these impressions because of this, our nama and rupa, that we have taken birth and we have got a name and form, nama and rupa has been there. And because of the body we have got, and because of we have got mind, and we have got perceptions and all these things, and that is what the aggregate of the sense organs. And when the mind and the senses come into contact with sense objects, then we get different type of experiences, good and bad, right and wrong, happiness and unhappiness and whatnot. And there it comes, Trishna, clinging, attachment. That's where, oh, Buddha's great statement, we keep on saying that desire is the root cause of suffering, or the attachment is the root cause of suffering. Because you can see here, Trishna or Tanha is what the root cause of suffering. He tells. Afterwards, different things they say. Now, we will try to click on to this or hold on to this Trishna or Tanha. So, clinging on to things, clinging on to objects, Our attachment to the world is what the root cause of our problem. I need money for my survival. I have to. Can I earn money? Yes, we should earn money. Otherwise, who will take care of us? To larger extent, few days people may take care, people may support us, but not completely. So we have to earn money. We have to work. We have to earn money. Never mind. Can we earn little more money? Yes, we can earn, but there should not be over greediness. That's what we mean. Okay. So money is necessary, no doubt, but depending on it completely, thinking that earning money is the alpha and omega of the life is what the problem. So similarly, attaching to the mobile, attachment to the house, attachment to people, attachment to things, attachment to situations is what creating a problem. I need a body for my work, no doubt, but attaching to the body is not right thing. And similarly, I can have my wife or husband and children or kith and kin or siblings, friends, relatives, all fine, but we should not be attached. Now, the question may go for all of us, how is it possible? Without attachment, how can we live? Without attachment, how can we run the family? How can have we a family? It is possible. We can love them, we need to attach them. Buddha loved us. That's why he started thinking. He didn't think only about his mukti. He got enlightened, and not only that, he tried to preach that so that let people also can get rid of the suffering. He loved the entire humanity. That is the reason. He took so much care, so much pain to hear. To spread this message, and he was. Yeah, he was also even poisoned, but he didn't care. Why? Because he loved the people. Not only one, two, or three, entire mankind he loved. So, similarly, we can love our mother, father, children, wife or husband, relatives, friends, and all, but we not to be attached. But unfortunately, we have mixed the love and attachment. That is what the greatest problem. Even Sri Ramakrishna, the master, also says same thing. We can love people, no doubt, but we should not be attached. And he gives a simple example. Then how to live in this world? We live in like the maid servant. The maid servant in the owner's house, master's house. He takes care of everyone. He shows, he feels for them, no doubt. But in the heart of heart, she knows that there none of them belong to her, and she doesn't belong to them. So similarly, we can love everyone, we can work for everyone, we can help for everyone, but in the heart of heart, we should know that what is my reality, what is the real nature, or whatever. So we should love the people, no doubt, but we should not get attached to people. So Buddha's message is also very clear, like any other master, that because of the attachment to things, attachment to people, attachment to situations, or attachment to what incidents or whatever, that's why we are suffering. So remove this attachment, means get detached, then there is no suffering, or the intensity of suffering is reduced. That is what the Buddha is saying that. For that, what is the way out? If you ask, he says he gives the Ashtanga Marga. Samyak Drushti, Samyak Patandal. So there are the eightfold path, which I don't want to go into that. So because it takes a lot of time to explain. I think in my former lectures I've explained all these things. Maybe in last year's lecture, I have explained this eightfold path. So eightfold path is the solution by practicing one can get rid of this attachment. The same thing in Patanjali Yoga, we get Ashtanga Yoga Marga, that is Yama, Niyama, Asana, etc. And in the Vedanta, from Jnana point of view, if you ask, make a self inquiry, who am I? And hold on to that real I and leave the pseudo I, they say. And from the Bhakti Vedanta point of view, they say that practice devotion, then you'll be able to get rid of this suffering. So there is a cause and effect. You remove the cause, and then the effect called suffering gets reduced or gets eliminated. So what is the cause here? Either it can be said ignorance, and also because of the ignorance, we have got the attachment. And Sri Ramakrishna also, Master gives a beautiful example. When the camel eats cactus fruit, cactus fruit doesn't have really taste. But while eating the cactus fruit, there are small thorns which pricks the camel tongue and there will be blood. and the blood is mixed with the fruit, and the camel is eating, and it is reeling, I mean, it is enjoying, and it is thinking that the camel, I mean, the cactus fruit is very delicious. But it is, the taste is not in the cactus fruit, it is in it because of its own blood. So similarly, when we get attached to sense objects on the world, we do get some pleasurable things, no doubt, and we get some happiness, sort of happiness, no doubt. But apart from that, we get a lot of problems. That's where I always say, why we suffer? Because of someone's or something's existence, we suffer. Or because we don't have something, we don't have someone, that's why we are suffering. So, of suffering, our happiness is what depend on the external things, on the world, on the objects, on the people, on the situations. So, the spirituality is asking us to reduce your dependency on the world and its objects. If you are there, I'm happy. If you are not there, also I'm happy. My happiness should not doesn't depend on your existence, either your absence or presence. That's what spirituality is asking us to prepare ourselves, prepare our mind. But we don't do that. Because he is there, I'm happy. Because he is there, I am unhappy. So absence of something, I am unhappy, or presence of something, I am unhappy. Means I am, for my happiness or suffering, I am depending on external things. Again and again, I'm trying to tell. So reduce this external dependence, then you can be happy at all given point of times. Of course, I have to depend on the house, I have to depend on the people, I have to depend upon wife or husband, I have to depend on children and all for my livelihood. No, I don't say no. But internally, too much dependence or over dependence should be reduced. That's what we mean. I mean, why? Because of this craving, what happens? That upadana comes, and that word clinging, the clinging and craving and all these things comes because of that bhava means desire, desire to enjoy, desire to satisfy, all these things comes. And because of that, because I want to enjoy, so because of that birth comes, and because of that, when there is a birth, there's a growth, and there's a old age, and there's a death, and lot of this. And that's how the cycle continues. It starts from where? Avidya, ignorance. Without knowing the reality, we are getting attached to things, attached to people, attached to situations. Now, okay, give away the attachment, give away that clinging, then it is easy. Then there is no problem at all, as Buddha says. Then, is it easy or is it possible? People may say, oh, it is very easy. No. For few people, it may be easy, but for most of us, it is not easy. We have to accept it. It is difficult. Yes, we shall write down even on the paper. It is difficult. Getting away from attachment, getting away from all this clinging, trishna, thanna, as Buddha says, it is difficult. But only I say, don't put stop. Don't put stop, but put karma. So it is not, it is difficult, yes, but possible. It is difficult to give away things. It is difficult to get rid of attachment. It is difficult to get rid of clinging, no doubt, but put karma and you will understand that, but it is possible. Means it is possible means I can achieve that by regular practice, by awareness, by mindfulness, by spiritual practices, by prayer, or repetition of the Lord's name, or by service, or by right thinking and following the right path. We can reduce these things, means we can reduce this attachment and practicing by practicing the detachment. Okay, that is what philosophical. Now, if you see the uh, simple path, if you say that what to do, that means try to reduce the lower type of desires and try to increase higher type of desires. So for an example, when we are children, we all aspire for games, we all aspire for toys or chocolates or some savories or delicacies or whatever. Then when we grow, probably we may expect some cycle or some other things. Then when we become youth, we expect a desire for opposite sex and probably money or probably a vehicle, whatnot. So like these things, that's all fine. Now, these are all necessary, no doubt. There are biological things are also involved there. But more than that, what I'm saying that try to develop higher things. Let me become a human being in a true sense, gentleman or gentlewoman, or let me help people. Let me achieve some things, greater things. Let me probably meditate more and more. Let me study more and more. Let me know things more and more in reality what it is. So, like this, developing a positive things and developing the higher desires, we can reduce the lower desires. So by developing the higher desires, we'll be reducing the lower desires. And when we are keep on constantly trying to fulfill the higher desires, and slowly, we will also try to get rid of it, and we will try to overcome or we will transcend it. Then that is the way out. So just like you are traveling in the forest or you are walking in the forest, a thorn pricks you. What to do? Instead of crying, oh, thorn has prick, I'm pain, it has got a pain, it has got pain. Instead of lamenting or commenting or crying, take one more thorn. With the help of the thorn, you remove this and throw both the thorns, and you can continue your walking. There can be little pain for some time, afterwards it goes away, it fades away. So similarly, how to get rid of these desires? How to get rid of this clinging or attachment? Develop positive habits, develop positive desires or higher desires. I shall experience the God. I shall experience the self. I shall really be the contributor personality in the management language, if you want me to say. Or let me develop the good habits, good passions. Because of this clinging to the world and other things gets reduced. So basically, attaching ourselves to the lower mind, instead of that, we can attach to the higher mind. Because of that, all these small problems gets reduced. That is one of the easiest way or the best way how we can reduce the clinging or attachment. The more and more your attachment reduces, the more and more our clinging reduces, our suffering also reduces. That is what the Buddha's message. And that is not only the Buddha's message, even the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads and all the masters have told the same thing in different way. So may Buddha bless all of us so that our attachment and our clinging to things and to the people and to the situations may reduce, so that we can be happy at all given point of times. This was the master's message. I mean, the Lord Buddha's message. And if you see in his life, that's what we can see. He also had to face lot of, I mean, after enlightening also, he also had to face lot of challenges, lot of problems and etc. But still he was able to overcome. Why? Because he didn't have attachment. Oh, Buddha, it is possible not for us. It is possible for us by continuous striving. So we shall all strive and we shall try to get rid of it. Thank you.